of State Marco Rubio. There were a number of countries, I think about 50 odd countries which were here. So that meeting took place today. In fact, it's still going on. I took a break from that. That was the principal reason. It was a very good discussion. Critical minerals is a very important subject. The US has been a partner for some years. Today they launched a new initiative called Forge, which we have supported. It's a kind of successor to the Mineral Security Partnership.
This is an international, multilateral effort, and it only works. You can only have diversity and choice in these markets if it is broadly adopted across multiple countries. So this initiative here today may be one that started with us, but this is not solely an American initiative. This must be an international, global initiative with like-minded countries who all have one thing in common. We want to see a diverse supply of critical minerals and a secure and resilient supply chains across the world so all of our economies can prosper without ever having these things be susceptible, at worst case scenario, being used as leverage against us, or any other disruption that could come to the market that would undermine our collective economic security.
Stay with the US, where the Washington Post is going through its largest ever layoffs. More than 300 journalists have lost their jobs, and the paper cuts about 30% of its staff. The layoffs affect not only local news, but also international coverage and the sports coverage. The sports section is, by the way, completely closing. The book section is also shutting shop. The paper's daily podcast is ending. The layoffs also include Ishan Tharoor and New Delhi Bureau Chief Pranshu Verma. Meanwhile, editors say the Post has been losing money for years and must change to survive. They say fewer readers in a crowded digital media space forced the decision. Emails were sent to employees Wednesday morning, just yesterday, telling them that their jobs were eliminated. Meanwhile, listening to some reactions coming in, followed by a report by my colleague Tony Waterman.
Hi, all. I'm taping this while it's a little raw, but I was laid off from the Washington Post today, along with around 300 of my other colleagues, and it's a pretty expansive elimination of this paper that I think is really wonderful. And I have colleagues who are in Ukraine who are going to have to come back, colleagues who are in Jerusalem. We had a foreign editor quit because so much of his staff was decimated. And for our section, basically arts coverage that doesn't involve Trump has been eliminated.
These sweeping layoffs are expected to decimate the newspaper's local, international, books, and sports coverage. Some 300 out of 800 journalists are expected to be let go, along with employees from the business side of operations. This announcement was made on Wednesday morning, and according to reports, the Post's executive editor, Matt Murray, tried to frame it as a strategic reset to better position the newspaper for the future. But at least one employee that spoke to the Guardian newspaper called it an absolute bloodbath that had taken place. The international desk has been hit particularly hard, with correspondents in India, Australia, Egypt, Iran, and China among those that have been let go. And some of them have been venting their frustrations on social media. Lizzie Johnson, who is in Ukraine right now, covering the war in a very dangerous conditions, writing, "I have been let off in the middle of a war zone. I'm devastated." You have Pranshu Verma, who was the Post's New Delhi bureau chief. He was also sacked, saying that he is gutted that so many talented people have been let go. You also have Caroline O'Donovan, who had been covering Amazon at the Post, describing the layoffs as horrible. A GoFundMe page has now been set up to help these journalists. But really, the writing has been on the wall. The newsroom has been incredibly tense for weeks now.
Philanthropist Melinda French Gates has spoken candidly about the renewed attention on her former husband after the fresh files linked to convicted sex offender Jeffrey Epstein were made public. In an interview on an NPR broadcast, she described feeling unbelievable sadness, saying the developments had reopened painful times in my marriage. Not only this, Melinda Gates added that whatever questions remain should be answered by those named in the documents, including former husband Bill Gates. Among the records released by the U.S. Justice Department is an allegation by Epstein that Gates had in fact contracted a sexually transmitted disease, or an STD. A spokesperson, meanwhile, for Gates has dismissed the claims as being absolutely absurd. Meanwhile, let's listen in to what both Melinda and Bill Gates had to say on this controversy.
Pushed it away, and I moved on. I'm in a really unexpected, beautiful place in my life. So whatever questions remain there of what I can't even begin to know all of it, those questions are for those people and for even my ex-husband. They need to answer to those things, not me.
Well,
and I am so happy to be away from all the muck.
Yeah, I met Jeffrey in 2011. The focus was always, he knew a lot of very rich people, and he was saying he could get them to give money to global health. You know, in retrospect, that was a dead end, and I was foolish to spend time with him. I was one of many people who regret ever knowing him.
Iranian-American activist Masih Alinejad has once again criticized New York Mayor Zohran Mamdani. Now, this time for allegedly not taking a stand for Iranian protesters who have been prosecuted or persecuted by the Iranian regime in the last few weeks. Alinejad slammed Mamdani for celebrating the World Hijab Day, while women back home in Iran are being jailed and killed for refusing the hijab and the Islamic ideology behind it. The activists say that the newly elected mayor is not speaking up in support of Iranian women, but choosing to stand with their jailers instead. We shift our focus to the Middle East, where Iran's nuclear talks with the US will be held in Oman's Muscat on Friday, that's tomorrow. Iranian Foreign Minister Sayed Abbas Araghchi said on Wednesday. He also added on social media platform X that the talks will take place around 10 a.m. local time, thanking the Omani side for making all necessary arrangements. Shortly afterwards, several Western media outlets in fact reported that Washington has agreed to hold the talks on Friday in Oman after being lobbied by at least 9 Middle East countries. Now, the announcement comes after the US media outlets reported earlier in the day that the talks could be cancelled over the two sides' disagreement on the location and the sheer format of these talks. The two sides had previously agreed to meet on Friday in Istanbul, Turkey, where some other Middle East countries participating as observers. We now take you to Eurasia, where Russia reported on Wednesday that it had pushed deeper into Ukrainian defensive lines over the past day, while Ukraine on the same day asserted that it had repelled Russian attacks. It's the same song and dance in short. In its daily briefing, the Russian Defense Ministry reported that in the past 24 hours, its forces struck targets in 153 areas. This includes military fuel and energy infrastructure, long-range drone storage and launch sites, as well as temporary deployment points of Ukrainian troops and foreign mercenaries as well. Now, the ministry also announced that the Russian air defense systems had downed 139 fixed-wing drones and that its forces had taken control of 2 settlements in the Donetsk and the Zaporozhye regions. Also on Wednesday, the same day, the General Staff of the Armed Forces of Ukraine reported that 153 clashes, to be precise, occurred along the front lines in the past 24 hours. That means between Tuesday and Wednesday evening. We stay with Ukraine, whose President Volodymyr Zelensky said on Wednesday that negotiation teams had arrived on another prisoner swap in the near future. In his nightly video address, Zelensky said, and I'm quoting here, "Overall, Ukraine's position is very clear. The war must be ended for real. Russia must be ready for this." Now, this comes as envoys from Moscow and Kyiv met in Abu Dhabi on Wednesday for another round of US brokered talks on ending the most 4-year war, as a Russian attack using cluster munitions killed 7 people at a market in Ukraine. Now, the delegations from Moscow and Kyiv were joined in the capital of the UAE by US Special Envoy Steve Witkoff and also US President Donald Trump's son-in-law Jared Kushner. Ukraine's National Security and Defense Council chiefs also attended this meeting. Meanwhile, listen into what Zelensky had to say.
Зустрічі сьогодні був тристоронній формат. Також були контакти команди з американською стороною, доповідали Рустем Умєров, Кирило Буданов, Давид Арахамія, хлопці були на зв'язку. Ми обговорили проміжні підсумки перемовин в цей день. Продовжать завтра також буде.
Shifting our focus to Southeast Asia, where Taiwan's ties with the U.S. are rock solid. The island's president said on Thursday. Now, this just comes hours after President Donald Trump and Chinese leader Xi Jinping spoke over the phone about topics that we're getting to learn, including the self-ruled island's future. The comments came after Xi, in his first call with Trump since November, mind you, warned the U.S. president to be prudent about supplying arms to self-ruled island, according to a readout of their call provided by China's foreign ministry. Now, Taiwan, you all must know, is a self-ruled democracy that China claims as its own territory to be annexed by force if it deems so. Beijing prohibits all countries it has diplomatic relations with. This also includes Washington, by the way, from having formal ties with Taipei. Still, with the U.S. doesn't officially recognize Taiwan as a country, it is the island's strongest informal backer and, well, its biggest arms supplier. The latest group of Palestinians returning from Gaza arrived at the Nasser hospital in Khan Yunis early Thursday, following the reopening of the Rafah border crossing with Egypt earlier this week. The group arrived in a bus escorted by UN vehicles and was received by relatives who waited endlessly for hours to see their loved ones again. The Rafah border, for perspective, reopened on Monday for limited movement of people and also was hailed as a step forward for the fragile ceasefire that, by the way, still holds. But since then, Palestinian passage through the crossing has been marred by delays, interrogations, and even uncertainty over who would eventually be allowed to cross and who would not. UN Secretary General Antonio Guterres is deeply concerned about the impact of the new U.S. oil embargo against Cuba. His spokesperson has mentioned, and he added that the United Nations is working with the Cuban government to in fact see how the situation can be alleviated. U.S. President Donald Trump, meanwhile, signed an executive order only last Thursday threatening to impose tariffs on countries that still sell or provide oil to Cuba. We get your reaction.
The Secretary General is extremely concerned about the humanitarian situation in Cuba, which will worsen, if not collapse, if its oil needs go unmet. He notes that for more than 3 decades, the General Assembly has consistently called for an end to the embargo imposed by the United States on Cuba. The Secretary General urges all parties to pursue dialogue and respect for international law.
Well, with that, it's time we slip into a short break. Much more lined up on the other side. Don't you go anywhere.
Yes, I've won £1,000! This month, you can win cash prizes when you play free bingo at Tombola. Play for free!
Just sorted my guaranteed over 50 plan with Sun Life. There's even a cash payout.
Nice one.
It's given me the confidence to look after myself. I've started learning jiu-jitsu.
Come on!
Sorry, love. Sensei's turned me into a lethal weapon.
Do you need a doctor?
Oh, no. With Sun Life, there's no medical questions.
Don't miss out on our limited time offer. Call or search Sun Life Plan today.
Gradually reduce grey is the easiest way with Control GX Grey Reducing Shampoo. Reduce a little grey every time you wash for subtle looking results. Control GX from Just for Men.
By playing People's Postcode Lottery, you've helped thousands of good causes. So thank you.
What the world needs now is love, sweet love. What the world needs now is love, sweet love. Love, sweet love.
No child should suffer the torture of trachoma, but so many are in pain right now. Nananga's lashes have turned inwards. They rip and tear away at his eyes. Pomelo's sight could be gone forever. He's just 3 years old. Kofanga screams for his mother. His eyes are so infected that he can't even see her. For so many children in the world's poorest countries, trachoma is torture. It's a painful infection often spread by flies, and it's destroying children's eyesight. But it could be stopped if you help today. By calling 0800 021 3925 and giving £2 a month to Sightsavers, you can help make sure children get the treatment they desperately need. You'll help us bring them the medicines and the care that can treat infections. And that means you'll be helping to save children from the torture of trachoma and a life of blindness. Please help us reach them. Call 0800 021 3925, text C7 to 82727, or go online and give just £2 a month now. Because we need you to help save the sight of children like Nananga. We need you to help save them from the torture of trachoma.
Welcome back. Now over to updates from the world of business and technology, where NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang has made a strong pitch for India's AI future. That's correct. Huang says data centers should recreate the massive job boom that followed the internet's arrival in the subcontinent. Now, his comments come just days after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced a long-term tax holiday for foreign companies using data centers built in India. We get you more.
NVIDIA CEO Jensen Huang is betting big on India's AI boom. At a global tech event in Houston, Huang highlighted the employment potential of artificial intelligence infrastructure in India, saying that AI data centers could generate jobs on an incredible scale, similar to the internet-led employment surge India witnessed over the past 2 decades.
The actual building of the data center is maybe 5,000 people, 10,000 people. And there are electricians and plumbers and construction. But don't forget, the derivative workforce, the labor that contributes to ultimately delivering that data center is really quite gigantic.
Huang explained that employment opportunities would extend far beyond construction, spanning supply chains, design, architecture, project management, and long-term operations.
The supply chain of all of the things, you get still the pipes, the concrete, all of the design, the design, the architecture, the management of, all of that. And then after when you're done, the operations of the startup companies that you can build on top of that.
Drawing a parallel with India's internet revolution, Huang said artificial intelligence could unlock similar opportunities across industries.
Look at the internet of India. The amount of jobs that has created upstream as well as downstream as a result of the internet, incredible. Same thing. Artificial intelligence will do exactly the same.
The remarks come soon after Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced in the budget that India will offer a tax holiday until 2047 for foreign companies using data centers built in the country, a move aimed at positioning India as a global AI hub.
Attracting global business and investment, recognizing the need to enable critical infrastructure and boost investment in data centers, I propose to provide tax holiday till 2047 to any foreign company that provides cloud services to customers globally by using data center services from India.
Backing the push, IT Minister Ashwini Vaishnav said data centers will become a major strength for India, enabling the country to deliver new digital services to the world.
The AI data centers are a very key part of the AI stack. This is the fourth layer, which is the infra layer. And it's very important to get that infra layer well in place in India so that the first layer, the services providers, they can provide the services using this infra to the entire world. We are also seeing multiplier impacts of this. We are seeing people who want to manufacture AI servers in India, people who want to manufacture the components which go into data centers in India, and also people want to bring in coming years the AI chips also in India.
Global tech giants are already betting on India. Google has announced a $15 billion investment in an AI data center project in Andhra Pradesh, while Microsoft and Amazon have poured billions into expanding their data center footprints across the country. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Shifting our focus to the subcontinent, Indian IT company shares dropped 7 to 8% on Anthropic's new AI-based software launch, a looming threat to service-focused jobs at Indian IT companies. Now, unlike basic chatbots, you see, this agent can independently execute 10-step business projects, threatening the very core of the $283 billion outsourcing industry. Anthropic released 11 new plugins that give this AI specialized skills in legal, finance, and even in sales. It can now read complex contracts, manage company files, and also build its own financial models. It's doing the work of high-paid professionals for a fraction of the cost here. Investors are also spooked because these plugins automate high-volume, repetitive tasks that Indian firms currently charge for by the hour. All 10 Nifty IT stocks ended in the red, with Infosys and TCS leading the crash or the downfall. The numbers are chilling. TCS derived 66% of its revenue from traditional services that this AI is designed to totally replace. Now, as software begins to act as the worker, the billion-dollar question remains: can a human-led delivery model survive an autonomous AI era? Well, what began as a routine IPL auction call has now snowballed into a full-blown cricketing standoff just ahead of the T20 World Cup, if I may. Bangladesh has been thrown out of the tournament after refusing to travel to India, citing security concerns despite repeated ICC warnings. Now, how did cricket's biggest tournament reach this very breaking point? We leave you with this report.
It all began weeks before the World Cup, when the BCCI in the 2026 IPL auction dropped Bangladesh star Mustafizur Rahman from the Kolkata Knight Riders squad. The Bangladesh government saw this not as a cricket decision, but as a political snub. In response, Bangladesh imposed a ban on the telecast of the IPL in the country and started demanding a hybrid model, that all their T20 World Cup matches be played outside India. On 4th January, the Bangladesh Cricket Board formally wrote to the ICC, stating that the national team would not travel to India for the World Cup, citing security concerns. They asked for every Bangladesh match, including games in Kolkata and Mumbai, to be shifted to Sri Lanka. The ICC refused to alter the schedule and told the Bangladesh Cricket Board the tournament is fixed. If Bangladesh refuses to play in India, they risk losing points and even being replaced. By 19 January, the ICC issued a strict deadline to confirm that Bangladesh will travel to India and participate fully. The deadline was January 21st. It was only Pakistan that backed Bangladesh. The ICC effectively ruled if Bangladesh refuses to travel, they will be removed from the tournament. On 22nd January, the BCB and the Bangladesh's interim government held meetings and decided the team will not play in India. One final appeal to the ICC Dispute Resolution Committee was rejected. On 24 January, the ICC formally announced that Bangladesh is out of the 2026 T20 World Cup. The PCB argued if Pakistan got a hybrid model in India-hosted events, why not Bangladesh? And on 1st February 2026, the government of Pakistan issued a clear decision that its team will participate in the World Cup but will not take the field in the match scheduled on 15th February against India. A full boycott would have cost Pakistan an estimated $34 to $35 million from World Cup revenue. Is that why it's throwing a tantrum and only boycotting the marquee clash? NDTV Bureau Report.
Is your holiday all booked?
Right now, a child like Clara needs Childline to answer their call because they're being abused, neglected, or bullied. A child who just wants the pain and fear they're experiencing to stop.
Hello, you're through to someone you can talk to.
For children being abused, Childline is a lifeline.
Something's happened with Mum's boyfriend.
That first call can literally be a life-changing call. In so many cases, we are the first people a child will reach out to. Childline needs your support so we can be there 24 hours a day. Please make sure a child gets the help they need and give just £2 a month now. Call 0800 702 2976 or search NSPCC. You can help us be there for the thousands of children who urgently need someone to talk to. When a child needs to make a life-changing call, you can help make sure we are there to answer it. Thank you.
Break free to EE and join the UK's fastest growing broadband provider. You'll get our ultra-reliable full fibre 100 for only $27.99 a month, with non-stop browsing, gaming, and working. Plus, we're the only major provider who'll give you up to £300 to switch. Join EE today.
With People's Postcode Lottery, there could be springtime winning for your postcode. In our March draws, you could win a share of £17.3 million.
2026, here I come. This is just next level.
For a chance to win, sign up before midnight on the 28th of February. A share of £17.3 million could be yours, but only if your door is in the draw.
Ezekiel and his little brother Joseph both have cataracts that cloud their vision. Knowing how tough life with cataracts can be, Ezekiel is worried about his little brother.
It makes me sad.
Because if he could see, then he would be able to succeed in his life. But now his life seems difficult because of his poor vision. These brothers are needlessly facing a lifetime with cataracts, all because the straightforward operation they need is beyond the family's reach. Could you help us support more families like Joseph and Ezekiel's so they can have the surgery that will save their sight? Call 0800 035 7848. Text site 11 to 78866 or visit sightsavers.tv to donate £2 a month. Help children and young people dreaming of a life without sight loss to finally get the treatment they need.
இப்போ இந்த அளவுக்கு பெருந்திரளாக தாய்மார்கள் இங்கே கூடியிருக்கிறார்கள். நம்முடைய முதலமைச்சர் சொல்ல போனால் இங்கே அண்ணன் சுந்தர் சொன்னார், வடக்கே வாழ்கிற அண்ணா சொன்னார், வடக்கே வாழ்கிறது தெற்கே தேயுதுன்னு சொன்னாங்க. இப்போ வடக்கே நம்முடைய ஆட்சியில் வந்த காரணத்தால் திமுக ஆட்சி வந்த காரணத்தால் தான் தெற்கே வாழ்கிறது வடக்கே தேய்கிறது. வடக்கா உள்ளவன் இங்கே டேபிள் துடைக்க வரான். இங்கே ஃபாதர்லாம் வந்திருக்காங்க. வடக்கே உள்ளவன் இங்கே பார்த்து டேபிள் துடைக்க வராங்க. எதுக்கு வரான்? அவன் ஹிந்தி பேசுறதுனால இங்கே ஹிந்தி ஹிந்தியை மட்டும் அவன் கொண்டு படித்த காரணத்தாலே அவன் இங்கே வேலை வாய்ப்பு இல்லாமல் நம்ம இங்கே வந்து இங்கே கட்டட தொழிலாளியாக இங்கே டேபிள் துடைக்கின்றாங்க, பானிபூரி விற்கின்றாங்க, இங்கே வரான். நம்ம நாட்டு பசங்களை எங்கே போயிருக்காங்க? வெளிநாடுக்கு போயிருக்காங்க. இப்போ வெளிநாடுக போய் கோடி கோடியாக சம்பாதிக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு வாய்ப்பை நம்முடைய தமிழ் மொழி இருக்கின்ற காரணத்தால் 2 மொழிக்கு 2 மொழி கொள்கை நாம் ஆங்கிலம் படித்த காரணத்தாலே இங்கே வடங்கே டெல்லி இங்கே லண்டன் அமெரிக்காவுக்கு போகிற எல்லா கிராமத்தை இங்கே சார்ந்தவர்கள்லாம் இங்கே வெளிநாடு சென்று படிக்க வேலை வாய்ப்பு பெறக்கூடிய கம்ப்யூட்டர் பயிற்சியை ஊக்குவித்த காரணத்தால்
Minister Paneerselvam also stated that the kids that are educating in Tamil Nadu are going to abroad. They're getting higher education. The North Indians come to clean the tables, as he has said.
No, he has not said like that. He has not said anything ridiculing the North Indians. Okay. He has not said anything. It's a false statement. No, he has not told anything ridiculing the images of the North Indians, whether there's community or Y communities. It's all false. Don't believe all this. He is a prominent leader of the DMK. He is also a minister. Yes. His statement will be very responsible.
See, Tamil Nadu requires a workforce from other states to come in and to make our economy tick. They are welcome to Tamil Nadu. They are safe in Tamil Nadu. We appreciate the workforce from other states which come to Tamil Nadu. This is also a testimony to the economy of Tamil Nadu, because people from weaker economies move towards stronger economies. The fact that many lakhs of people come from other states to Tamil Nadu also shows the strength of the Tamil Nadu economy. We welcome the workforce which comes from other states. We require them, we appreciate them, and they are safe and most welcome in Tamil Nadu.
Are you condemning such a
statement? So these kind of flippant comments made by people, I have I mean, it's irresponsible. There's no reason to make these kind of flippant comments.
I condemn this kind of attitude. Whomever has spoken, anybody in India who is hardworking should be respected. They may come to India, Chennai, or they may come to Hyderabad, they may come to Bangalore, or they come to Mumbai or Delhi, anywhere. And from Tamil Nadu, anybody can go to any places. We should respect the work of people. It should not be denigrated like this. Whomever speaks it, this attitude is a very sad attitude, and it should be condemned.
देखिए, जहाँ तक मेहनत करने का प्रश्न है, तो हर व्यक्ति जो जीवन में बड़ा बना है वो मेहनत करके ही बना है। और देश की अर्थव्यवस्था में चाहे वो श्रमिक हो, चाहे वो सेल्फ एंटरप्रेन्योर हो या उद्योगपति हो, सबका अपना अपना महत्व है। और इस कारण से सबके महत्व को स्वीकार करना चाहिए, क्योंकि प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में हम उनके लक्ष्य विकसित भारत 2047 की ओर बढ़ रहे हैं, और उसमें सभी लोगों का योगदान भारत को विश्व की सबसे बड़ी अर्थव्यवस्था बनाने में सहायक होगा।
जहाँ गए हैं वहाँ उन्होंने इकोनॉमी वहाँ बिल्ड की है, वहाँ मजबूत किया है, और ये कांग्रेस को बताना चाहिए। कांग्रेस एलाय है ना उसका, कि उत्तर भारत के लोगों को, यूपी बिहार के लोगों को किस नज़र से कांग्रेस देखती है, और कांग्रेस का क्या स्टैंड है इस पर, जो डीएमके ने कहा है। और जो भी पार्टी इस तरह की भाषा यूज कर रहा है देश में, तो दक्षिण भारतीय लोग भी जाकर के गल्फ में काम करते हैं और जगह काम करते हैं।
तमिलनाडु के माननीय मंत्री जी, बिहार ज्ञान की भूमि है। उत्तर भारत के लोग या देश के किसी भी हिस्से के लोग इस देश पर बोझ नहीं हैं, बोझ उठाने वाले लोग हैं। विधानसभा चुनाव में अपनी उपलब्धियों पर मत मांग नहीं रहे हैं। अब तो विधानसभा का सत्र बिहार में चल रहा है, तो हमारी उम्मीद है कि तमिलनाडु के माननीय मंत्री ने जिस ढंग से उत्तर भारत के लोगों को राजनीतिक रूप से जलील किया, तो अब तेजस्वी यादव जी गेंद आपके पाले में है।
भारत एक लोकतांत्रिक देश है। उत्तर से लेकर दक्षिण तक, पूरब से लेकर पश्चिम तक यहाँ की सांस्कृतिक विविधता पाई जाती है, लेकिन इस तरह के बयान हास्यास्पद है और इस प्रकार के बयान नहीं देने चाहिए।
The minister says his aim was to target the central government's three-language policy, which the ruling DMK calls it as Hindi imposition, something the BJP denies. But the big question, should the point he is trying to make be told in a different way than making those involving in such manual labor feel uncomfortable? More news on with regard to language imposition. DMK MP Kanimoli has taken on the central government yet again on Hindi imposition, this time on the signboards at railway stations, particularly the one at Sivakasi and one at the Park railway station in Chennai, where she has shared photographs where Hindi is now occupying the prime space and Tamil and English switch to the top and the bottom, which she says is a clear imposition of Hindi, and she calls it's a contagious infection which ought to be checked. And she refers to how her father, late Mr. Karunanidhi, had protested in Kallakudi those years, and the issue still remains relevant today as well, and that the party would fight against language imposition of any sort. The BJP, of course, in the past has argued that people from all across India use trains to travel across Tamil Nadu. It's important the names of these stations in Hindi be given as well. But the big question, why this change in terms of the predominance? If it's in Tamil Nadu, should Tamil be given the dominant place in the signboard and other languages on top and bottom? Why this particular change? So far, the BJP nor the railways have explained this change. The ruling DMK has now launched a campaign called Halwa Campaign, taking on the central government's budget, in which the party alleges no significant allocation for Tamil Nadu, no significant projects announced for Tamil Nadu, and this budget has zero reference to Tamil Nadu. In fact, the Tamil Nadu government and the ruling DMK were expecting allocation of funds for two major projects, the metro rail project in Madurai and Coimbatore, which the central government had earlier denied, citing inadequate population in those towns, something the ruling DMK and the Tamil Nadu government had denied. And to take on the central government, particularly the BJP, the DMK has launched this halwa distribution. Halwa, colloquially in Tamil Nadu, although it's a sweet dish, also refers to someone being taken for a ride. And in these meetings, DMK functionaries distribute halwa, indicating or suggesting that the central government has given zero importance for Tamil Nadu. In a sense, it has given halwa